This episode is sponsored by the Slang Self-Doubt Prayer Journal. Over the past 4 years, I have had the opportunity to help over 30 women identify, accept, and take action in the parts of their lives where they feel stuck. My heart's desire is to do that with every woman I come in contact with, but the truth is that's not realistic. So instead, I created a prayer journal that goes through that same journey. The Slang Self-Doubt Prayer Journal is designed for you to dig deep and answer questions that will pull out where you are stuck on your journey. The Slang Self-Doubt Prayer Journal consists of 6 sections of journal prompts and areas for reflections for when you want to dig a little deeper and just take your thoughts to another level. Whether it takes you 6 weeks or 6 months to complete, I promise you will not regret it. Head on over to my website at www.feliciawallace.com and select the books tab to make your purchase. If you are ready to find your fears and slay them, go to www.feliciawallace.com, select books, and get your copy today. You're listening to the Slang Self-Doubt Podcast with Coach Felicia, where we empower Black women to overcome their doubts, fears, and insecurities in order to give birth to their God-given purpose. Join me and sometimes some of my friends on our journey as we remind you that you are not alone. I'm Felicia Wallace, and together we will find our fears and slay them. Welcome back to another episode of the Slang Self-Doubt Podcast. I am here with Robiar Smith from R.B Pest Solutions, the CEO in Chi-Town, baby.
Hey.
How are you, Robbie? How are you?
Hey, girl, Chi-Town in the building. What's going on?
So I'm always amazed at just what God is doing, just like in my journey of connecting me with some amazing women who are doing amazing things. And you have your own story about being in tech and starting your own business and all of those things in an industry that usually women don't create a business in, because I mean, for me, I'm afraid I wouldn't even want no parts of that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so tell the people who you are. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
So I am R.B Smith, and I am the CEO of R.B Pest Solutions. We're located here in Chicago with 2 branches, and we just launched out in Indiana.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about that. Yay, expansion and growing. And so we specialize in commercial residential property, which means that we are your exterminators. That's what they call us. That's what they call us now. But pest control technicians that come in, and we handle anywhere from your restaurants, daycares, your residential commercial properties. You name it. If it's a pest in that infrastructure, we come and we get rid of it.
Yeah, see, y'all, listen, if you in Chicago or Indiana, there you go. Okay. So how do we get here? Like, let's go back to the beginning. What does your journey look like to this place?
So I always say that pest control was one of those industries, like the love of your life. Like, you go everywhere to look for them, but they be right there next to you. That's how I feel about pest control. I feel like it was sitting here all this time, like, wait, I'm right here. What you looking for?
Oh, wow.
But, so that's why I feel like it's full circle, because in my household, my dad's been exterminating for over 43 years. And so those two got into the industry. They worked for companies, and they, they dabbed into pest control. So I was taught, go to school, get education. And that's what I did. I went off and got my undergrad in psychology. I got my 2 master degrees, one an MBA, and then I got a master's in information technology. And so just starting to go off into, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're here. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm going off into, the IT industry, and just making sure that, I'm like trying to climb the corporate ladder with my degrees, and I'm going to take over. And no, very shortly after that, someone came to me and said, have you ever thought about teaching? And I said, no, but let's do it. And so I started teaching and helping people scale their business, entrepreneurship. And I start learning how to do business plans, entrepreneurship, IT, technology in the back of my head. Wow. In the meantime, my dad is like, you should really get into pest control. Think about it. And I'm looking at him like, I don't think so. So I took the test. And by the 3rd time, because I kept failing it got personal for me. I was like, you know what? I'm smart. This ain't even that deep. And that's when I fell in love with pest control, because I had to study. And within studying, I learned about the life cycle of bees and ants and how they work together, and termites and pests. and how I'm part of the agriculture. Pest control is just not about bugs and that. It's about protecting the environment. And as I fell in love with it, I took the test again and again, passed it in 2016, and I have not looked back since.
Oh, wow. That is really interesting. Like I said at the start of this is not generally anywhere. Well, for me personally, that is like at the bottom of my list. Like there was a spider in my car the other day. I was screaming. The kids was like, "Mommy, what are you doing?" I was just like, "Have you ever been bitten by a spider?" I have. Like it was like a whole traumatic experience I had. Like I just don't want nothing by me, like, but to hear it on that side, like, the life cycle and learning, like, it is interesting, but I'm like, you know what? I have to know what's my ministry and what is it. And that ain't my ministry.
Exactly. Not your ministry. And listen, some years ago, up until 6 years ago, it was not mine. I'm like, listen, I don't want to do this. I'm going to take these degrees and make my salary, and I'm, going to be just fine. So for me to just not stumble, because it's been in my family, so it's about legacy for me. But for me to go into this, you couldn't have told me in my wildest dreams I would be into the pest control industry. I'm still stunned by it. But I love it. I love it.
And that is the difference between like what you said initially, like, yeah, I was gonna go, went to school, was going to use my degrees to climb the corporate ladder. And sometimes we have to think back to like that may have been the thing, right? And it seems like that's the direction that we should go in. But when you really follow that, like your purpose and your passion and what it is that you're doing, it don't even feel like work.
It does not. It honestly, that's what I try to encourage people. It's about taking a step, because sometimes you'll have a plan and an idea and you take steps toward it. And then those steps may take you in different directions. And sometimes we're so scared because we're trying to be committed to the vision. But however, taking the steps lead you in a direction, and knowing when to pivot is key. And so it's important that taking the step will reveal to you what steps to take next. To take next, and what direction to go. And that's where your intuition comes in place. You got to pay attention. You do.
No,
and it's so rewarding.
Yeah, I can tell on your face, like, everybody else can't see you, but I can see you, and I can tell, like, I'm like, no, she really like what she do, y'all. She really do like what she do. So
I do.
And so thinking about like where you started to where you are now, and the transformation and the journey of doing, getting your degree, getting into IT, which is already a male dominated industry, to go into another male dominated industry. How has self-doubt showed up in your journey? If you've been listening to this podcast or following me on social media for a while, and you're ready to start your journey to healing, or you're ready to confront your doubts and insecurities, there are 3 ways I can help. First, you can download the journal prompt from my website. Use this as a guide to get back on track with where God is calling you. Secondly, you can go to my website and purchase the Slaying Self-Doubt Prayer Journal. Using this prompt and journal will pull out where you are stuck on your journey. These questions will force you to dig deep and find your fears. Lastly, if you're ready to invest in your healing journey and work directly with me, book a 30-minute connection call with me today. This allows us to see if we are a good fit for each other. So head on over to my website, www.feliciawallace.com, to do one or all 3 of these. That's www.feliciawallace.com. Now, back to the show.
I mean, listen, I was in a meeting yesterday. I was sitting in a meeting, 12,000 foot facility, only girl on the team, talking about termites, subterranean termites, how to get rid of it, the tunnels and the whole thing. And people are fascinated with just coming to see me, and they're just like, the doubt. We're in 2022 and still like in awe of women being in certain places. And so the doubt from others drive and motivate me. But even the doubt in myself, this journey has just allowed me to really, I tell people with R.B Pest Solutions, if I don't do another thing, it doesn't pay me another dollar, it has done enough in my life. It has revealed me to me in so many different ways, to the point where everything I do has been priceless, because the things that I've done personally in my life, or the decisions, especially indecisiveness, that I had an issue with before, does not have room in my business. I can't afford to be indecisive. I have a whole company that depends on me to be their visionary and see them through.
Yeah.
So I tell my team all the time, they don't work for me, I work for them. I work for all of them. And what it allows me is to take that doubt that I do have sometimes, and I say I don't have the luxury for that. I have to be certain and sure that this is the direction we're going. And if it doesn't pan out the way that I envision, that it's just my GPS sending us in a whole nother direction.
Yeah.
So everything is all for the greater good.
Yeah.
Everything works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you said that, how, you know, this journey in doing this, and even in the doubt, like the personal changes that have happened, right? That the indecisiveness that you may have had before, when you have other people counting on you, and you have other, you know, you are the decision maker. You can't, like you said, you can't afford to be indecisive, right? Whether it's the people that work with you or the clients that you have, right? Like, because you showing up is connected to them, whatever it is that they need from you. That is your, you know, that's your purpose for why you show up in that moment. But you asked the question that I didn't ask, but it is a very good question of how God has showed up in your journey.
Well, I thought you said God. You see,
hey, listen,
like,
but that's
God.
Listen, but that means, because that's the question that's supposed to be answered as well. So let's talk about it.
I don't do nothing without him. This is not even me. I mean, literally, I started this business in my living room, and the rapid growth that we have had with having 2 locations in Chicago and opening in Indiana, and working on software and products launching and coming soon, and a retail store. Like, I'm naming all these things in just 6 years. That's not me. I'm just being obedient. I've learned to be obedient to the whispers and things that go on with me. And I just be like, oh, okay, that's what we doing. Word.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we doing. Sometimes I'll be like, you want me to do that? And the voice be like, do it.
Yes.
And
yes.
so it's like my ultimate coach and consultant about kind of navigating these decisions that I'm making. It is not me. I'm just taking the steps. And the universe, I take 10, the universe matches me 30. I take another 10, it matches me another 30. Like, it's not me. It's all God.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that is what continues to push you when you're in this space, right? Because when you know that it's not you, you take it a little, you take it more seriously, because it's not just like, no, wait a minute, Lord, like, you didn't gave this to me. I can't be playing around with it, right? Because if I don't do something with it, at the end of the day, your work is still gonna get done. It just ain't gonna get done through me. And then I'm gonna be sitting over there like, now who else got these initials? Then they got my business, right? Because I was over here playing around. And I love the way how you didn't say it, but I the insinuation of the obedience. And my pastor always says the key to obedience is speed, right? And so the quicker you do it, even when doubt comes in, even when you're feeling insecure about making some decisions, when you get it done and over with, usually that thing will pass, and you'll realize you made the best decision anyway, right?
Yes.
And so what are some practical tips that you can give somebody who is, in the kind of the same situation as you are, in trying to figure out, like, they're going through this process of, their entrepreneurship journey or whatever their journey is, right? And they're really trying to just figure this out. What advice would you have for people, or practical tips in being able to slay their self-doubt?
Yes. I'm thinking, I always try to tell people, like I said again, so this has showed me who I am, which means that we have this narrative here that, let's be a boss, let's make these 6 figures, let's live a life, which at all has nothing to do with true entrepreneurship. And so, I mean, at some point, you see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
But I think, what better opportunity that you can embark on a journey that shows you. Like, how priceless is that? Like, the success in that, it's just priceless.
Yeah.
And everything falls together, right? Because once you get a chance to learn you, then also it's the short-term decisions that you make on a daily or weekly that really counts. And so it's like losing weight. We in this world where, sometimes you want instant gratification. So if you want to lose weight, then okay, this is what we can do to do it. in a week or two, or this is what we can do down the long haul if we want it to be a lifestyle.
Right.
It's the same with entrepreneurship and the decisions that you make. So practical steps is, first of all, believe that you're supposed to be in the room and at that table. Like, you got to believe that that's where you belong. Like, don't wait till it says CEO, or don't wait till you get to a point. Like, you have to believe with your one client or your one idea that that's where it is. It's already done.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, then everything else is okay. You're going to walk in your greatness. And number two, when walking in your greatness, it doesn't mean like you're not going to make mistakes. And you're not going to doubt yourself either. You're going to make so many mistakes. But all the mistakes that I've made has allowed me to implement structure and systems in my organization so that I don't make those mistakes again.
Yeah.
No one didn't tell me not to make these mistakes, or it's just I made them in real time. And touching the fire was like, ouch.
Right.
I'm not going to do that again. So these are just like practical things where if you know yourself, you believe that you're supposed to be there, you make the necessary mistakes because those are going to help you implement and system and put things into place. Then at that point, just sit back and watch the universe and God work in your favor.
Yeah.
And know when to pivot as well. I don't know if I'm on 4 and 5, but know when to pivot. You know, I would have never thought in a million years that I set out to do one thing, which is maybe be in the industry, entertainment, or whatever I chose to do. And then pest control has allowed me to be on Chicago PD Fire, Channel 5. I've been on Fox 32. I've been on Chicago. I can go on and on about the media outlets I've been on through pest control.
Yeah, yeah. But that just, even right there, that just goes to show. And when you said, like, that's why I knew as soon as you said, how has God showed up in my journey? I was like, oh, okay, I already know, Lord. This is, we needed clarity because there's so many times where we walk through life knowing that, okay, God has a plan for my life, right? We've been taught that, we know that, but what does it look like when you're actually walking it out, right? What does it look like when you have actually said yes to the call that he gives to you, and you're actually walking that thing out? You will have opportunities that you could have never even imagined. You will be in certain spaces that, like, I wasn't expecting any of this. That's why I say every time someone reaches out to me I'm like, when I started this was really like, oh, I'm just going to talk about my life, right? There was no like vision of like this being a movement, right? Because that's what it is. And when I say it's a movement, it actually is, because you know, this is something that we need. I know that, right? I know I needed it before now, and I know how important it is going forward. And every time I say yes, every time I show up, every time I am obedient, like you said, God just continues to be like, oh, okay, well, let me put you here. Oh, okay, well, let me put you here. And so when people are like, oh yeah, I be like, me? Like
me? You want to talk to me?
So I totally understand that. And so one of the things when I ask this question often, and even today I had like this thought process of the fact of like, I never even think to answer the question myself, but I did today for myself. But I'm going to ask you, what have you learned what have you learned about yourself during this journey that you didn't know before?
Oh my goodness. I definitely learned that, oh my God, I've learned so much. Let me think of one of the many things right now that I'm learning.
Okay, I mean, you 1, 2, 5, it don't matter.
Right. I think I'm learning. Here's the thing. So I have learned that I do believe in creation, and I believe that I create. But then also with me feeling like that I'm being obedient and I can create, and this is my life to live, like I am the author of this. Like, I do understand who I belong to. I do understand that there's a bigger force working with me that's giving me the opportunity to create, to innovate, to help with other things, being of service and purpose, which is what your platform is about. Like you say, you set out to do one thing, but it's purpose driven.
Yeah.
And when your work is purpose driven, it's like no arena for that. Like mine is pest control, yours is what it is, but still we meet because it's purpose driven.
Exactly.
Like we're
Yeah.
going to always be in alignment. So it has just taught me about being extremely grateful and honored. I just lost my mom in October.
Oh, I'm sorry
So
to hear
my
that.
humbleness, thank you. I appreciate that. My humbleness is like at an all-time high. Like losing your mom,
Mm-hmm.
I got a different set of lenses on in life right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is with a grateful heart. Prior
Mm-hmm.
to it, it was before, but now it's really at an ultimate gratefulness and just
Yeah.
being used. Like, okay,
Mm.
how can I be
Mm.
used? What you gonna use me for today, Lord? Like,
Oh, that
how's
just
it
gave
gonna
me
work?
goosebumps.
Yes, like kind of use
Yeah.
me in a situation. I just want to be used, and I want to be able to, when I have conversations with beautiful people like you, allow you all to see the light
Mm.
in me, allow him to work through me. So when I'm talking to you, we
Yeah.
can both leave this conversation fulfilled. I
Yeah.
want to have those type of moments. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. And that's what I'm learning is that I'm in control, but I'm not in control.
Yeah. I love that. And I think that one of the other things about that is that, did you hear that ad at the beginning of the show? If you're a business owner looking to expand your reach, you can promote your company or product with a host read pre-roll or mid-roll ad by me on the Slang Self-Doubt podcast. If you want more information, email info@FeliciaWallace.com. That's info@FeliciaWallace.com. Now, back to the show. We be saying that, but we don't necessarily mean it until when you start to notice that things happen. Like when I started this, I was like, I'm just his vessel. It sounded good. Then I realized, no, you said yes, sis, and he gonna keep giving you stuff, and he gonna keep waiting for you to show up. And when you even in that reciprocity of like you being used, like he's gonna find other people to pour into you, and that is one of the things that has been a blessing of doing these interviews is that every single time. I promise you, no matter when the episode is, on the days that I talk and do the interviews and I do the recordings, every single time it's a conversation that I need in that moment, in that space of my life. The episode is 6 months later, but he's like, I want you to talk to this person because this person is going to tell you what I need you to hear. And so that's how I know that, like you said, it's in alignment, right? When I look at what some people are doing and I be like, well, Lord, how does what does got to do with me, right? And then, but I stop asking questions now, right? When I know, because I pray over it and I say, Lord, don't send me not nobody who is not in alignment with you. I don't even feel like sending no more. I don't ever want to have to send a no, this is not going to work. Thanks for coming out. God bless and good night email ever, right? I don't even want to have to do that. Just don't send nobody my way. And every single time he sends somebody who's in alignment with me. But that also goes to your earlier point about putting in systems and structures because people know who you are. And so if they know who
Yeah.
you are, they ain't even, ain't nobody even coming over this way that's like, oh no, she not fooling with me. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Listen, yes. I mean, here's the thing. So my industry right now is pest control, right? And so the amount of, in terms of some people that are like, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't want to talk about pests. Like, because it's not it's not the most glamorous field. I
Right,
mean,
right,
let's
right,
be
right.
real here, right? But it's underrepresented for people that look like me. It's rewarding. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's going unrecognized in many different communities, but since no
Yeah,
one wants to touch it, then
right.
it's like, okay. And so it's about me shedding light on this particular industry, about someone who looks like me, give it a facelift, change the narrative. And
Yeah.
then once I do sit and speak to someone about it, then they're like, that's the best decision. I don't like, what were we waiting on? Like, I mean, we get it, and we were kind of apprehensive about it because of the industry that it was in. But wait, like,
Yeah.
we're talking about farming, agriculture, which is huge right now and being affected by the war right now. I'm a part of that. Sorry about that. We have
That's okay.
K9. My apologies. K9, and so that part, and protecting the environment so that our food won't be sprayed with harsh pesticides. It's an array. The Illinois Department of Public Health, which is in each, well, I'm with the Illinois Department, but whatever Department of Public Health is in your city and state, you can go get licensed and with this thing, become a pest control technician and make a living for your family, not a college degree or anything like that, even though I'm
Yeah.
into degrees. But this is just another facet and avenue to introduce people into. And many don't know about it.
Yeah. No, you know what? You are absolutely right, right? Because in my flesh, right? When I looked at it and I got the request, and I was just like, now wait a minute, Jesus. First of all, me and Bugs do not, we ain't even know, we not saying eye to eye. This is not like, Lord, so I'm gonna need you to be real clear about what it is. And
Yeah.
I'm like, now I understand the journey of it, right? Because what I do is I talk about your self-doubt journey, right? And so again, like I say, I pray over everything. I know you don't send nobody over here that ain't supposed to be over here, but you stretching me. Like, come on, what's about to happen here? But like you said, that's when you put yourself in it, right? And you end up saying, making it about you. And I'm like, no, God, if you sent her to me, that means that she has something that somebody needs to hear. Period.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
has nothing to do with me. So whatever my uncomfortability is, or whatever my thing is, that's me putting my stuff on it. That if I'm saying this is yours, whatever you assign me to do, that's what I'm supposed to do. And sometimes we get wrapped up in that. I don't want to feel like that's too dirty, that's too this, that's too that. I mean, was Jesus doing everything neat and nice? No, he was not, right? So here we are saying one thing but acting in a different way. So for me, I was like, okay, Lord, you got me together real good, and not make it
and it's
personal.
so funny. And it's so funny because I'll go on a job and get rid of a pest, and I'll have my uniform on and this, that, and this, and then they'll probably do some research on the company and just put R.B Pest Solutions in Google. And they'll be like, wait, this is you? Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm still a woman.
Right.
I'm still a girl at the end of the day. Like, I'm still girl. I'm still you. You, me, I'm you.
Right.
Let's go put in this red lip. Let's go. We going to grab some cocktails. We going to kiki. Like, we going to do all that. But during the day, if you got an issue, give me a call.
Right.
And I'm going to take care of it. So, I mean, it's just so funny because that right there, this is like the ultimate, slaying doubt episode, right? It's about, having the doubt and being able to just be open to many different things, because you just never know, who you connect with. You just never know.
Yes, on top of the fact that, like I say often, that our obedience is connected to somebody else somewhere. Who knows who's listening to this, who may have been is interested in pest control and feels like, oh no, women don't do that. That's not something we supposed to do. It's not whatever their self-doubt stuff is, or the misconceptions about it, which, like you said, you're bringing light to it to be able to say, this is what you can do to do this. Because I mean, I was telling my sons a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, when we was kids, I was like, it felt like the only jobs women can have was like a teacher or a nurse. That was it. That was your only two choices, right? Mm-hmm. You either become a teacher or you become a nurse. Anything else, we wasn't even in the realm. So what I'm grateful about this platform, it allows me to be able to showcase Black women doing everything.
And when we touch it, it's magic.
Yeah, listen. Okay, so this right here, y'all. Whoever's listening to this right now, whatever your goal is, whatever your purpose is, if it seems like it go against the grain, everybody ain't gonna like it. Listen, Robbie out here telling you do it, okay, and put your red lip on while you're doing it, okay?
Right. Put that red pink lip on. Let's go.
Yes. Let's go. So let's talk about R.B Pest Solutions. And I mean, clearly we know what you do, but what it is, like, what is your mission behind it, of what it is that you want to get out to the people, like even talking about the agricultural part of it, and like the stuff that, like you said, the stuff that we're going through right now in the real life stuff that people aren't even putting two to two together, that, it even coincides.
Yeah. I know. Here's the thing. What I'm trying to shed light with is that we're an essential business, and we're dealing with something that has been around since the beginning of time, and it will be here when we leave. These pests, this is their earth as well.
Yeah.
So it's job stability. It's essential. And I want to make sure that my community gets an opportunity to be introduced to it, because it is a male dominated, along with other type of fields. We're not in it, and so we're far in between. So since I've been able to shed light on it and have so much growth in such a short period of time, and be able to do radio and TV and it's really been great, and I've been embraced by the community. I'm winning like the Impact Award of this year.
Let's
I've won another
go.
award this year.
Don't
Like,
minimize that. Don't listen. Y'all didn't see her face, okay? But go ahead, repeat that and say
oh,
it
so
clearly.
I'm going to Nashville, Tennessee next week, and I've won the 2022 Impact Award in pest management along with many
Let's
other women.
go.
But I'm excited about that. Was awarded another 2022 Pest Boss Award, and launched the pest management in the state of Illinois for all women to be welcome into this industry. And just, we're making it look cool. We're making something essential and necessary look cool. And you don't have to be in it from a technician standpoint. And if you just remove pest control and just think about something in your life that really brings you a sense of joy, and every time you put on that outfit or get around it, it just makes you feel like a superhero. That's what you need to be doing. But it's like we minimize it because we think, well, it's not bringing me enough money or traction or recognition at so shortly. And if I just really challenge your listeners to sit back and really pay attention to, and it's right there. It's not even far. Like, it's in you right there, waiting to be birthed and waiting for the world to see it. And it's like you're sitting on it because it's like, everybody do that. Yeah, everybody makes soap. Everybody makes bread. Everybody makes this, but
water.
It's not your bread.
That's free.
It's not your water. It's not your soap. Right.
Right.
Like, it's not you. It don't have you. You the formula in you. So I challenge everybody to sit back for a minute and pay attention to that, because in that's the secret sauce, and that's going to get you to where you want to be.
Yes, I love that. I always I tell my clients when they're talking to me, I'm like, you walk down the water aisle, first of all, water free. Okay, that's number one. It's free, like free 99 in real life. But we go pay for a bottle, and we pay more for pretty bottles, and we pay more for bottles with the same water with bubbles, right? Like, but at the end of the day, it's still water. You know what I mean? But here we are saying like, oh, I can't do that because somebody else is already doing that.
Yeah.
What kind of water do you buy? That's what because I can guarantee you we don't buy the same water.
Like, seriously though, you are so, like, it's facts. It's absolutely true. But so many times, how many times did we just say to ourselves, we talk ourselves out of something? And it's just we need to stop doing that.
Well, that's why slaying self-doubt is here. I didn't know it at first, but this is the reason why the Lord said, this is what I need you to do, because I like I say often, slaying is an action. That is in every, when it comes up, then you slay it. It's not necessary. I used to think it was just going to go away and then it would never come back. And that was what I prayed for. Like, Lord, just take my doubt away. And now it's not. It's like, okay, help me to be productive today and help that thing not cause me to paralyze, and like, let me get my stuff done, because at the end of the day, she's showing up, right? Like, we know that but come on, we got this to do today. Okay, we can't be fooling around with it. So I think what you said, like, take away whatever it is, but whatever that thing is that excites you, that you would, my pastor would say, whatever is burdening your heart that you would do for free over and over and over again, that is what you're supposed to be doing. And you're right, some people are doing it and they don't even realize it. They're looking for something else because, what you said earlier, you're looking for the money, you're looking for the 6 and the 7 figures, and you think that what you're doing, what it is that you're actually supposed to be doing, isn't going to get you that. It may not get you that immediately, but you don't, and still you don't know what God going to do.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that you putting limitations on him by saying, oh, I'm not going to do that because it's not going to give me that. How you know?
Right.
How do you know that that's true?
It's so true. And then what you and I are doing right now, which is what needs to happen more than often, and sometimes we have to make sure that we're doing it with the people that's around us. We're building, like we're manifesting. For these however many long that we've been on this call and this podcast together, we're building, and like the frequency and energy is just transferable. And it's going to match our energy and vibrations when we end this. Yeah. Like, the universe is going to match what we're doing. And so I love to always set aside time like this to just connect with amazing people on amazing platforms such as yours. So I really just so grateful for you having me on here, giving me an opportunity, continue to shine bright, continue to like have this platform, because it's just super dope, super
Thank
amazing.
you. I appreciate that. Listen, I appreciate it and I receive it. And like I said, I didn't know what God was doing at first, but now that I see it, I'm like, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I couldn't imagine not having, and even when I don't think there's anybody else, there's always more, right? And there's always, God will send the people to you that he needs to send to you so that he can get his. This is, if it, we both saying the same thing, right? This isn't about us, it's about him. So whoever need to hear this conversation, he's like, I need to get y'all two together so y'all can talk. I got what the conversation gonna be, and then the people that I need to hear it, they're gonna hear it and they're gonna move. So what I do need for you to do real quick, because you mentioned it, but I just want you to say it again. I know that you're in Illinois, but you talked about being able to go to your public health department and be able to do what now?
So what you can do is you can go to, if you go to the your Department of Public Health and pull up pest control, structural pest control, then from there you'll be able to contact your local, government and find out when to test the study materials, or just ways that you could get into the pest control industry. Or you can just simply contact a pest control company in the area and maybe get hired with them and see if it's something that you like to do. Because it's not just about being a technician. You can offer your sales, social media, customer service. Like, it's not just technician based. It's a whole industry here waiting for you to dive into. And so you just start with either your Department of Public Health or a local pest control company and just get involved.
Yeah, I definitely wanted you to give that information, because I don't know who needed to hear that, who needed to know how to even start. And, I know you ain't in the DMV area, but she gave y'all information. It don't matter where y'all at. She just told you where to go. So you just,
I'm coming. I'm coming. Just stay tuned.
Listen, let's go ahead and speak that so she can franchise, baby. Whatever it is that you need to do, she might be in the DMV area. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Listen, and when you are here, then you like, Felicia, yep, me and her, we go way back.
Yep, we go. Listen, we family now. Listen, you can't get rid of me now. We locked in. We locked in this thing.
Yeah. So for our listeners who are in your area, who are in Chicago, who are in Indiana, when you get on over there, where can they find you? For the people who need your inspiration and to be able to just follow your journey, where can people connect with you?
So if you go to www.rbpestsolutions.com, or if you just put in R.B Pest Solutions in your Google search, because the IT girl in me made sure that it was user friendly for you. If you just put that in, you will find everything about R.B Pest Solutions and what we're doing. And then we have our premium products line coming out now. So we have mattress covers for sale, and of course the apparel, like the logo that you see and everything you done was made by me. I created the logo, I did the website, I did all the forms.
Listen, using all of your skills and all of your gifts. That's what, when you say that, when you ask the Lord to use you, he gonna use all of you, everything he can get up out of you.
All of it, like these student loans, because remember, college is like, we're going to get this student loan juice out of you. So that's what I did. So
$1 trillion. That's
yes. My goodness. So at least it stands for something. I thought I was building it for someone else's corporation, but no, it's for my own multi-billion-dollar business that I'm building.
That's a word right there. That's a word right there. In itself, there's lots of times that we start this journey thinking we building something for somebody else, and whole time God was like, nope, I got a better plan.
This for you. Like, this for you, daughter. This for you.
Thank you so much, Robbie, for being here, for sharing your journey and sharing your light. I can feel it. Like, I always know when I'm like, oh, okay, Lord, I see why you connected us.
Yes. We family now. I'm locked in at all the barbecues, all the, gatherings. And then I'm in Chicago. So, this is Chi-Town house music. Listen, when you come to Chicago, call me. So we go eat, we go hang out. Girl, come to Chicago. Let's hang.
Yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Of course. Thanks for having me. It was an absolute honor. Trust me.
All right, y'all, that's all for this week. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review. Remember to head over to Facebook and Instagram and follow me at Slaying Self-Doubt. Oh, wait, don't forget, go to my YouTube channel and watch this episode, and remember to press the subscribe button. Until next week, see ya.